There is this man, a husband to be specific, who has two different hats. He wears one while he's at home and the other while he's not at home. Our topic today is, he is different when we are outside. That means that he is somehow doing something else while we are inside. Welcome to the show, and I know that you're going to be blessed. To help us understand this is this beautiful couple. I love God for one thing. He matches people. He puts people together like he did to us. He has done to Tabitha and Richard. He has done that to Patrick and Maureen. Patrick and Maureen, thank you once again for coming to the show. Say hi to the viewer. And we are discussing about this man who is different outside.
Thank you. Hello, viewer. Welcome to the show. My name is Patrick Okoyo, and I thought this time around you should have been the first to introduce yourself.
Okay. Now that you've done so, but then they say ladies first when there is no danger. Because but when there is danger, the man first. Maureen.
Hello, viewer. I'm Maureen Okoyo. Welcome to this show, and we love good time together.
Thank you so much. Tabitha and Richard, I don't know how you're going to do it, but let me just pass the ball so that you can play with it.
Hello, viewer. Welcome.
Hello, viewer. Welcome for this discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tabitha and Richard. Dush, you can do it with a smile as always.
Hi, viewer. Welcome.
You done? Mm-hmm. That was brief.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are going to get more from this. I don't know what our viewer, thinks about this topic. He is different when we are outside. But just as we are getting into this discussion, be ready. Our lines are open. We can also get your comments. Hashtag is Family Times. And hopefully we will get back to you. You can even ask questions. If there is something that you feel that you need us to maybe help, because we are not professionals, but we will always, a problem half shared is half solved. So go ahead and make that comment. Let me come back to these beautiful people. Patrick, where did the rain start beating us? This man is different. By the way, let me just try and put more flesh to this, even as you're getting ready to give your submission. Yeah. This is different, meaning he's probably two in one, wearing two hats, like I said. Yeah. He's probably quiet in the house, and while he's out there, he is the noisiest. He is rough and tough in the house. When he goes out there, he's a smooth operator. Or he's irresponsible in the house, but people out there say Patrick is a good guy.
I think Patrick has always been a good guy to start off, because these are people who met, got married, and started living within a given environment. But then it happens that at some point then their complaints arise that I am presenting contrasting behavior, that I am not the same. There must be something that could have happened in the house, and that borders on a lot on the kind of the optimum environment is no longer sufficient enough to sustain a healthy relationship. So there could be certain factors that have led to this kind of scenario or quagmire. So the rain started beating us when we stopped talking about issues that bedevil us as families.
Patrick, you are saying that there could be factors or circumstances that brought this.
Absolutely.
We are talking about a man and a woman. Are you saying the woman brought these circumstances? Richard?
Certainly, yes. If the man speaking, then it could be the woman brought this issue, or the issue could also have been brought by the man. Of course, by evidence, of course, we know where some of these issues normally rise. But I want to say is that the either party could be blamed for some of the issues that bedevil families.
Yes.
But in most cases, with the evidence that has been supplied suggests that a particular gender normally brings in some of
Very,
this.
very careful when
And
you say
I'm
this.
saying this with tremendous humility.
I feel you.
Tremendous
I feel you.
humility.
No, he just
I
said
feel you.
with tremendous
With
what?
tremendous humility.
I think that's not true. Because when you have situations in the house
Yes.
and you're not communicating, definitely there's going to be a challenge.
Yes.
So here you are, Patrick, married to Maureen.
Yes.
You see a situation in the house and you stop talking about it. You assume that it's going to change. And before you realize it, it grows, you know? But when you go out there, you're a different person simply because you have refused to sort out the problem that is in your house. How do you expect this problem will do you expect some other man to come and sort your problem?
No, I don't expect.
Exactly. If you
don't.
don't expect another man to come and sort your problem, sort it.
My argument is that I am not different outside.
Yes.
I am being myself outside. But the environment that you have created in this house is less
Takes it
hospitable.
away.
It takes two.
It is the environment
It
that is less
takes
hospitable. I
two.
am
So
myself
the
outside.
If he is the man of the house,
Yes.
he's the head of the house,
Exactly.
and he's saying that the environment
Yes,
in the
failed.
house is different for him. He cannot be himself in
he's-
his own
He's
home.
sleeping
A
on his
greater
bed.
responsibility
He's
lies
not
on the
good
woman
enough
to
be
make
the
this
head
house
of
a
that
home.
family.
No.
Okay,
Where-
wait, ladies,
Where
ladies
does
and
this go
gentlemen. I want again to protect Richard. You know, Richard is
The man,
soft,
the
but
man
firm.
whom you,
Very firm.
the
Yes,
man
yes.
whom you loved,
Yes.
You still love.
well, thank you, you still love him. Why would he all of a sudden just develop a character that is strange?
Tell us.
There must be a reason. And this reason must be within the home.
The home.
That's why he becomes different when he steps out of this place. For good or for bad,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Happy or sad. Probably when he's at home, he's very happy. When he goes out, he's very sad.
Right.
We are not looking at that, the fact
Yeah.
that it's all, well, just hold on that. Secondly, this person who changes, what are the triggers to the change when he moves out of the house? What is it that will make him more happy outside the house or sad outside the house? You must first of all think about it. If it's on me, search yourself. Get to know.
Yes.
What wrong am I doing to him?
Right.
Remember, he's your king, am I not?
You are.
thank you.
But now, I am glad you mentioned something. You ask yourself.
Yeah.
So the key is with you, or it is with the man.
I didn't say ask him.
Or sometimes,
I said ask yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
But the key is with the man.
Richard, maybe sometimes there's something that is happening outside that is also affecting him inside.
Thank
You
you.
need to also consider
Outside
that.
or
Peer
inside?
pressure.
Yeah.
Outside or inside?
pressure.
Even from here,
Get to know what it is.
I want us to, maybe for the sake of our viewer, give some of these examples. Because, Richard, before that, I also want to dispel that we are talking about the bad things, not the
Right,
good things.
exactly.
Because, Maureen, remember you said
Yeah.
offline that if he's bad out there and he's good in my house,
I have
well
no
and good
problem.
with me.
I don't mind.
I
But
would
we,
not have no
we are talking about, you remember the purpose of this show
Yeah.
is to bring hope and light in families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when that is not happening,
Yeah.
and instead of light and hope, it is, what is the opposite of light? Darkness and hopelessness. Then that is what we are talking about.
If-
He's different.
If I'm showing a double character, one character is a lie.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
One is true.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a lie, what triggers this lie? Because how then are you going to react? How then are you going to conduct yourself? If you know that this person comes to this house, you see the differences. When both of you step out of the house, and you are outside together, and you see that this man is very happy, when he comes back home, he is sad and, you know, not forthcoming. You want to think, where did I step wrong? You are the woman or the man. Think about it. Where did I step out? What has happened? What triggers this?
Why is it that?
Because it's about two people.
We are not blaming anyone.
Yes.
We are just trying to find why. Right?
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
I think when there is no proper communication, definitely, when there is no proper communication in the
Nothing
house,
will work
nothing
out.
will go on.
Yeah.
When there is
Well-
no love in the house,
Yes.
nothing will go on. When there is no trust in the house, nothing will go on.
Only,
Maureen.
well,
Okay, I want to say that for him to be different outside, he's nice outside, he does all the good things outside. It means he could be trying to be responsible, so he's trying to, as a way of escaping his responsibilities in the house. So when he comes back, he does not want to talk to anybody because he knows Maureen is going to ask for school fees and for food and for everything. So he pretends not to be talking because he wants to escape his responsibilities. Because why would a man who is supposed to be the head of the house be different in his house and
Be
keep quiet and
irresponsible.
pretend that it is the woman
Yes.
who has changed his character?
Blame
If it
game.
is me who is changing your character, why can't we sit down as,
And
as a
see,
couple and
yeah.
talk about it?
Have you created that environment?
Yes, that
It is
is what
both.
I wanted to ask.
Marriage is not for one person.
Through you see even by the manner in which our friends are.
They are not
getting
giving you
into-
the
they're not giving
environment
you the
to
time.
talk.
These are some of the issues we're battling with.
oh yes,
Yeah,
they are.
At home.
They are.
Create that physical context. Communication takes place within different contexts.
Yes.
There is the physical context, which is a house.
Yes.
But in this case, a lot of responsibility lie on the mother of the woman to make this house a home.
No,
Yes.
Traditionally,
Yes.
traditionally speaking, I am an empiricist. Traditionally speaking, and it is true. I
It's-
don't want to lie.
it's in the
true.
Bible,
It's in the
Proverbs
Bible.
31.
It's in the Bible.
What?
I wish it would be
Oh,
the
yes.
woman of Proverbs
you
31.
A virtuous
Now,
woman.
Yes. Now,
virtuous woman.
create this physical context through which that communication can flourish.
Exactly.
Okay. You come back home from work probably, and then you are back tired, looking sad and hoobie-gone. And then you expect
And this
an
woman who is
environment
at home,
to be created.
And
An
what about
environment
this
that
woman
is
who is
How
at
can
home?
peace and joy
Yeah?
thrive in such a
So this
situation?
woman
can't.
that you
It
left in
cannot.
the house was
Should
just
just
seated
be
doing
okay,
nothing. She did not
yes.
even have a bad day.
Yeah.
You did not even call to find out,
Yeah.
hey, are you okay?
That
Did you
is
have a
fine.
good day? Did,
You expect
you
me to
only
be
expect
feeling
that
you,
because
yeah?
you went to work
We
and
don't.
I did not go to work.
Yeah.
I
So
had
you are
it
much
well.
better than me who remained in
Our,
the
I
our
want-
marriage,
I want
and
you
our
guys
joy.
Yeah.
to give, and I want you
It's-
guys,
it's
I
not-
want you to respond to this example
Sorry.
that I want to give.
Yes.
You know, as I'm a bit, I'm trying to be neutral. At the same time, I'm trying to be the man.
Yes.
Because this is practical.
This is yes.
This man who, and you will respond to this because there is something about this. This man provides for others,
Yeah.
but in his house,
He doesn't.
he doesn't provide. Go ahead.
I have a friend who came to me and wanted some advice that my man is good outside. Actually, while I was with this friend of mine, someone from home called her that Mama so and so, Aki, we are so grateful. Your husband sent school fees for my son who has been at home for the last two weeks. We are really grateful. The person is thanking her because she thinks maybe the husband did it in consultation with the wife. And by this time, you know, their child, who is in class 7, had been sent for school fees, has been at home for the last 1 week. So try to imagine what this lady felt.
Yeah.
Someone is calling you that, thank you people for sending school fees for my son who has been sent for school fee for the last 2 weeks. And your very own has been in the house for the last 1 week. You've not handled his issue. You've not provided the school fees. You are trying to be good outside.
That's a
How
very sad
then
affair.
do you expect me as your wife
That's a very sad
to
affair.
respect you,
That's a very
to
sad
treat
affair,
you
Dave.
nicely,
That's a
to
very
be
sad
good?
affair. Peter, if
Yes.
you can just come in. That's a very
Yeah.
sad affair. But there is a stage in social penetration theory called de-escalation.
Yes.
Most men
Exactly.
de-escalate when they find certain obstacles in this relationship.
There
So
must be a
others
trigger.
choose to de-escalate through withdrawing certain things that they do with their family, which is wrong, because
My friend,
there,
I
there
want
should
to
be an
tell my
environment
viewer,
through which
if
these
there is
issues
a
are
problem
discussed,
between the two of
But
you,
it happens most always that people now tend to withdraw. The same case when you keep on sharing your opinion and it is not considered useful, then people tend to withdraw, and that is what we call the Sicilian law of Ometa.
I have a comment
at the
here.
end of the day, Dave, the man is more concerned of what makes him happy. If does not even care about the children,
Yeah.
because it is not just your spouse here who is affected, whom you are trying to affect,
There are a lot of people
but
who are
consider
affected.
also these
That's
children
not
in
true.
this house
That's not
that
true.
are going
It
to
is,
be
by the way,
affected
it
by
can't
your
be only you.
behavior.
That's not
Yeah,
true,
it is
because
not only
I-
the two of you.
I have something
has
here
to be
that I want you
affected,
to
yeah.
comment about.
Please.
Okay.
This is what our viewer is saying,
Yeah.
that this man
Yes.
is more prayerful when he's outside.
Outside.
He doesn't
Happen.
attend, but in the house, he doesn't attend house devotions. He has neglected his priestly duties. He's left the woman to struggle with spiritual matters alone
Yes.
at home. How do you make of this behavior? Let me
But I have
start
an
with you.
instant exactly. I have a friend of mine.
Yeah, we have
who-
friends. We have friends.
I have a friend of mine who, her and the husband, sometimes when there's a lot of pressure in the house, which sometimes it comes out, this guy can decide to zip up.
Nail by mouth.
Yeah, for
He's
almost even more than a year, not even talking to the wife. And they're
This
in
is
the
a-
same house. But when he comes out of that house, by the way, and is interacting with other people,
He's a
will
changed
not believe
personality.
it.
That is in church.
The wife, yeah, the wife
Yes.
will ask, like, hey, is it the guy that you have come from the house with? Look at how he's associating with other people, but me, he doesn't even talk to me. So people will just pretend. When we are outside, we try to make people look at us like everything
We are
is
good,
okay.
we are
We
cool.
don't have any problem. We are okay. So people don't share out. People try to like live two sides of life, so
Yeah.
that we try and cover a lot of things.
At times
which
it's
is
just
not
good to
very
talk
fair
about
to us.
such things. You know why? Because you can be depressed and you can die. Depression really kills. So many times, you know why that happens? Because you're going through so much, but you still want to cover this man that you live with.
Yes, yes,
You know,
yes, yes.
you're covering this man because probably God has blessed you with the children. So you're looking at the children factor. But if we could also look at our health, because when you are not happy, when you are a sad person, sincerely, with women, we cannot pretend.
Tabi, let me paint more picture to
situation.
what she
Yeah.
has said.
Yeah.
So that you understand probably how the magnitude of the communication that you're talking
Yeah.
about, if it is possible.
Yeah.
This man that he's talking about is probably a church elder
Whoa.
in a high-ranking position.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, how do you want to get there? You know, sometimes there's some of these things that when we read that our viewers just written
Yeah.
or said,
Yeah.
you may think that it's in some movie
Yeah,
scene,
that is
Yeah.
true.
but they're happening.
Yeah, they're happening.
Imagine this gentleman now decides that I'm not going to spend in this bedroom,
Changes
matrimonial
bedrooms,
bed, goes either changes the
Maybe-
bedroom or decides to sleep in the
Dave,
couch.
Now, how do you...
if somebody is like that, I think we need to seek help
That's true.
for this person.
Mental issues.
what if
Especially,
that person doesn't
he is
see that
an
he's-
elder in church.
Yeah.
There is eldership in church. Engage the elders. First of all, mention to the elders. Tell them exactly what's happening.
Is it the
man
wife now
tot-
reporting to the
Yes,
elders, or-
this man is totally different. His behavior here is very nice. But when we go home, it's different. Firstly, the elders must help you because he sits amongst them, and this cannot be a character of the elder within the church. So report him to the eldership.
Yeah.
Let it be discussed at that level.
But
Because
you see,
I'm saying-
but you see, sometimes when you do that,
will
it
bring
will
another
worsen.
thing.
on the
No,
other
it's
side.
not worsening.
No, it's true.
It can.
Yeah, it's true.
But there's no
it
sometime.
worsens. Yeah. So you can't even help her. So sometimes
Now,
she'll decide to keep
because-
quiet because again, we've been raised like you have to keep your marriage. Don't
The thing
expose
is-
everything
the
out.
thing
You see?
is-
Yeah.
The eldership must know that this man is living a lie.
Exactly, that's living a lie.
But for me, Dave, I think honestly that we wait for far too long before we start sharing
Yes.
some of the issues that affect us as families. And so the crisis is as a result of small mistakes that were not addressed
That are piling.
at an
early
early age. So that you find, because men do not just wake up one morning and then they just decide to change behavior all of a sudden.
Linda is trying
there
to
must
say
Like no
that
one just wakes up.
Yeah,
and
no one.
But
decides,
Patrick is a man,
There
so
must be
he's
a
talking
genesis.
on the...
It's
he's
okay,
talking from
course.
but he needs to
Yeah.
consider.
And again, it doesn't respect whether you are an elder or a pastor or your whatever position in society or a king or a queen. These things can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
But we really need
I
to
think,
find out how we can address them
I still
adequately.
insist
Yes.
that the key lies with this man who decides, you know what, he wants to have two faces.
Yes.
Meaning, I think I have given this example that I'll still give it. You can hang out with people who have a certain kind of lifestyle, but you decide, you know what, I'm not following them. I'm not going to do that, which is not advisable though. If, for example, if you don't drink alcohol and you're hanging out with alcoholics, definitely you might, but we have people who might because of the strong will. We have people who, you know, if you decide in your own heart, like, I want this marriage to work. I want this marriage to work despite the fact that, hey, I'm hanging out with John or Peter or whatever. His marriage has failed, but mine is going to be different. Because if we don't make it, if you don't make a decision, then there is no marriage there. Why would you go, Mr. Okoyo, out there? You want to be all smiley with Tabitha, and the last time you smiled with Maureen was 10 years ago.
Because when I try to smile with her,
Those are excuses.
those are
That's
things that
another
are,
thing.
Those
they
are
could be excuses.
You are a
Yeah.
man. Be a man. Man up. Be that visionary person.
You are there.
God has trusted you in
Exactly.
that position.
Exactly.
for a
It's
reason.
another
Exactly.
person.
Oh.
And not all men are brought up the same way.
I
Yes.
like that.
The society today, we are not ready to train boys to turn into men. We are training boys to remain boys for eternity.
That's unfortunate.
That is a big
Sad
issue in
It
this
is.
society
It
today.
is
So
indeed.
we need to raise people
Yeah.
who, at a certain age, when they are faced with the difficult
Challenges.
circumstances,
Yeah.
then they can hold the bull by the horns.
And it starts
I-
with
I-
me and you.
There is this other scenario, because I think we have really dwelt on the man not being responsible, the man not being
Man
the
enough.
man. But there is this situation where the woman has made it so difficult for the man to be the man.
Yes.
The man comes home, by the way, there are men who go back home
yeah.
late into the night,
Right.
not because they were so busy.
Yeah.
They go late
They're
into the night
avoiding
because they are
problems.
avoiding
It's
issues.
not comfortable.
Yeah.
They are avoiding.
It's not comfortable being at
It's
home.
not comfortable.
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
let me
Dave.
ask you. When you're dating, it was everything Linda told you was really nice. Even if she coughed.
Well.
Now, why
Dating
can't
time.
you?
Go ahead.
Why can't you sit down? I still insist.
Communication.
Communication. And why do you think that it is always the woman who is offending the man? Why
No, no,
don't
no.
you also think, for example, that we also get offended?
I've given two scenarios,
Yes.
my dear.
Which
The first scenario
Yeah.
was the man and the man alone.
right?
He is irresponsible.
Yes.
The woman is there, but the man is irresponsible.
Yeah.
The second scenario
Yeah.
is the man is trying,
Yeah.
but the woman has made it so difficult. You see,
Now it
there
depends
are questions that when she asks me, I will automatically switch off.
Which, for example?
I come back home tired. You don't know what I have done. By the way, I'm doing one of the hardest work or one of the hardest jobs
Yes.
Yeah.
on this earth.
Yes.
That is sales.
Yes.
I come back home with nothing. And then Linda is like, give an example of what you do.
Where are you coming home without
Why?
bread?
Well, it's true. That I agree.
She's demanding maybe for
I
school
agree.
fees.
That's actually, yes.
You see, there are certain circumstances that you cannot really introduce a topic.
Right.
Please monitor. You check the environment. You know,
Yeah, you should
check
also
the
check the environment of the lady who has been
what you
remaining
introduce
back
really
at
matters
home.
with the environment.
That is
You're
true.
not the
That I
only one
agree.
doing the hard
That's
work,
what.
by the way. Even the lady who is
It's
remaining
really
at
important.
home
I mean, this is
also
what-
has
this is what
got
makes-
Sweetheart,
what
it's
people
not
switch
about
off.
hard work.
Yes.
It's about making the environment to be
Conducive,
a safe place,
Yes.
conducive.
Can I say something?
For me to say something,
yes.
we we want to take a very short break because we are coming back. Just hold on to that thought. I'm coming back to you. Dear viewer, what is your thought? Do you agree with us that, of course, we agree with the men that it is the ladies who cause this difference? Or you agree with the ladies who are saying that the man should be the man and nothing should be on his way to be the man that he's supposed to be? He is different when we are outside. We have talked about this man who apparently seems to be irresponsible. But I like what Maureen said about this man who supports other people. That's a typical example of what we are talking about. We are taking a short break. When we come back, we are going to give Maureen her time so that she can explain what she's saying. See you after this.
I am a man. Does the 21st century man understand what it means to be a man? Take a look at society today. Where are the men? Where are the men who stand for integrity and truth? Where are the men who lead their families to Christ, who provide for them and protect them? Are you that man?
The ladies have no problem with submission. The problem is, to what are you submitting? you can't submit to a vacuum.
Most of the affairs start with emotional connections.
When you are making a choice on morality, don't bargain.
As the 21st century man, we need to realize that we avoid this reactive kind of approach.
Watch the 21st century man. Join the conversation about what it means to be a man in this day and age. 21st century man, from his perspective, coming soon on Hope Channel Kenya.
Welcome back. I hope I am not different from the time that we went for a break, because that is the last thing I would want. And if it has changed, then I am different. We are talking about when the man is different, when both of you are outside. And it is not very clear, because we have two camps here. The men are on one side, then our beautiful ladies are on the other side, insisting that they have nothing to do with the difference that the man has, the two hats that the man wears. Let us listen in to Maureen. Before we went for the break, she was burning. Are you still burning?
No, I've cooled a bit. But just on what you are saying, that however much the man is trying in the house, the lady is trying to be very difficult, making the man to behave the way differently while he's outside. I have an example. There was a time I was staying with, just before I got married, I was staying with my cousin. The husband, I would not maybe mention the work the husband was doing, but the nature of the husband's work, the husband would come and she will just sit in the house. She was also working, she was a teacher, but she will just wait for the husband. The husband would come around 8 there in the evening, 9, and will find the house very quiet. I would ask her, why are we not cooking? And let us wait for him. And the man will walk in without anything in the hand. So the woman, my cousin, would tell him, why have you not come back with food? And he will be like, oh, today was a bad day. And he will tell him, I don't care where you get the food. All I want is that go out there, come back with the food. And the husband will walk out, and in 1 hour's time, he will come back with food, as he was told to do. So in most cases, if you will observe, the man would be very quiet, disturbed, bothered. This house was not conducive for him at all. The wife would make really life hell for him. And it is true that women or ladies in the house sometimes can really make the house hell.
Give Maureen a high five. Just give Maureen a high five.
I agree that sometimes it can really be hell, and some ladies can really mean to make the house hell for the man to.
Or sometimes it's the man who has the problem.
Yeah, so sometimes as much as we say that men are not doing good, in some cases, some spouses have a hand in it. Not in most cases, but in some cases.
Yes, some.
And this one I witnessed, and I saw it happen. I didn't like it. I would talk to my cousin, but she will do it not today, not every day. And the man will when he came back, you will just see a tired man ready to be sent back.
Very sad situation. If you're married to a Jezebel, who unto you? And I want to tell you, it's a very sad situation. And
if I may just say,
yes,
that ladies, especially women married, should know. And they should prepare the home to be as peaceful as possible, regardless of the man. When we come to the house, that's the domain of a woman. And therefore she sets up everything within. Make the home a very pleasurable place for your husband and your family, including your guests. While it's not really the only thing that women can do badly, there are things that men can as well do in the houses badly. But if this nice behavior that is shown by your husband away from the home, what is the problem with this home rather, that makes him change when he comes here? Why all of a sudden is he going to do a kneel by mouth? Something must be a trigger to this kind of character. It may be because of the man himself that the lady reacts this way, or it may be devoid of that. It may be just something that he meets in this house. People need to sit down and talk so that they can understand.
I've seen a situation where the man supports outside and the lady she's really trying. But the guy, I don't know, she just didn't love us. Things just happened. Then she was there. So it's like kuonyesha madharau, you see? So he's supporting outside, and here he's making sure like I am whipping you here. You see?
Such cases exist. But you see, for me, I'm baffled because I know that even animals, even dogs and cats, respond to acts of kindness. So I'm wondering to understand the kind of men who do not respond to acts of kindness. They will certainly respond to acts of kindness, because even a dog that you feed every day, when you go back home, the dog will welcome you in a manner that shows, that displays love.
Tabby has been subdued and she's now quiet.
No, I'm just wondering, because I don't think if we are believers, if we really know whom we are serving, we should know that this is not a one-person thing, you know. So when we start throwing blames on your spouse, when I start blaming him, it will not end. If my goal really is to have a peaceful marriage, it will take both of us.
Once this, whatever I'm doing or whatever you are doing there, is still within us, that bit will continue.
But I think the reason why it will continue, peer pressure, you know, it could be from you or it could be peer pressure. The people that I hang out with, you know, I could be hanging out with people who probably are not looking at marriage as a big deal, and you'll be like, yeah, I mean, you can live without a man, you know. Of course, that's not a Christian view. If I continue hanging out with such people, sincerely, I would not look at Richard as a husband. Whatever he says will not even make sense. I will not even respect him. So I will try to frustrate him. You know, there are people who will do that intentionally.
Yeah.
If, for example, they have some little money in the pocket, they'll be like, you know, after all, I can live without him.
Exactly.
So
That's what the problem is.
Yeah. But not all cases, though.
Not all cases.
Yeah, not all cases.
Not all cases.
But even men, you know what, at times, a man can be having a side chick. For the viewer out there, a side chick means a woman who is not your wife. So if you're involved out there, definitely you will not be able to be the same person when you're out and in. That person that you're having out there probably does not have a child. You probably have 10 children here. How do you expect this woman who has 10 children to behave the same way as, you understand?
There are certain things that God can put
we
on
get
our hands,
that.
Richard.
Yes.
There are certain things that God can bless us with. You start life as couples, and then all of a sudden probably God blesses your wife, okay? And then now your wife gets into this hippie generation group thinking that what a man can do, a woman can do better. She reads emancipation articles, and then she starts to get into a kind of a sophisticated, I call it, it's not really sophistication, but it's really a misguided philosophy. So that they now want to take control and you're completely silent. So these are some of the factors that come in. They appear to be very trendy topics, okay? That you know, once you can now live lavishly. A man is really relegated into a third-class citizen, okay? They get into some WhatsApp group where they get spoiled. So a lot of philosophies put in their minds. These are some of the things that spoil Christian marriages.
It does.
And not knowing God.
Just to remind our viewer that we are talking about when the man is different outside. And we are getting to notice that there are certain factors that are contributed by the man, and there are certain factors that are contributed, this one now I can say in confidence, by the woman. And the other factors that are contributed because we were fighting about it, but I think now we are coming to an agreement that, of course, we are humans. We have realized where the mistake is, and we want to come back home. We want to come back home. Yes.
One thing you should have stressed on, Dave, is that, as I mentioned, the house, the home, is a domain of a woman.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, but I was not given that environment to speak.
No, see, it's both of us. Why are you saying a woman? And I think it's both of us.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
No.
There are circumstances.
Yes.
I mean, there are factors that are caused by myself.
Yes.
You've given a very good example. I have someone out there. When I come back home,
you expect that
my demeanor is different.
Can I just support what you're saying?
Yes.
You're saying that we basically women we take control in the home. We play a major role. For instance, my husband has just come home. We are taking supper, and instead of me walking into the kitchen and bringing food, I send my daughter Petra, can you go to the kitchen and bring for your father food? No, my daughter will bring it, but not in a presentable way. He has been out there tired and he has come back home. He wants to be welcomed in a good way, be served in a better way, and your child cannot do it. Your spouse knows how to do it better. Maybe the part of the food that remained, you didn't serve, they served themselves. It's not that good part. Then the food comes to him not really well served. He's been out there tired. He will walk out. He will pretend that I'm okay and go to the bedroom. But no, let me tell you, he has been the woman. You need to do your part. Let him go behave the way he wants to behave, but do your part as the woman of the house. Serve the man with dignity and with respect as your husband.
I think I agree with what you're saying.
And so if you do that, you should have done your part. If he wants to behave differently, now that is
it varies. Let me tell you something. That is a very good point. I won't lie. But it varies. Families, differently.
You know,
For example, you can find that, for example, if it's a big family, you can decide, you know what, you're all eating from the same place. Or some decide, you know what, you're all just going to serve what is enough for you.
The food is served
Exactly.
from the kitchen.
So, like, think about it. Now, give an example of, for example, if I live in the village, I probably don't have that luxury of having the shower, for example. Now, what happens? I'm supposed to take that hot water to my husband, right? But now, how about somebody who has shower in the house?
I'm banning on this one.
Yeah?
You switch
So
on,
if
you
you
switch
have-
on the
Just
heater.
banning on this
Richard, go ahead. You switch on the heater for him.
One of the challenges. Thank you, Maureen.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Maureen. Where did women forget that? Where did wives
Richard,
forget to
when
be
you- when
wives?
you're speaking
Just a
about
minute.
that, now,
Just a minute,
you
Linda.
are a working
Just a
lady.
minute.
Hold on.
Connect
Just a
that.
minute. Just
Yeah.
keep it to yourself.
on.
You are going to say it. I'm just asking. Where did women forget to be women? The home is within their domain. I keep on saying that. When your husband comes back, he could be dirty. He could be tired. He could be looking very bright and very handsome. Please make the home a very receptive place.
Exactly.
That is point number one. Number two, one of the most difficult things that will happen in our houses is that women tend to forget their roles. And they get into roles of the man. And conflicts will definitely get into place.
Exactly.
Because we are usurping and assuming roles which are not ours. Let me be a man. I may not be very, very playful, but let me be a man. And let me allow you to be a woman. Thrive in your domain. Be a real woman in your house. You know, and do those things that will draw your husband closer. Those things about not being responsible will definitely change. They will accept it eventually. But more than anything else, let's go back to God and ask God questions. When it is too difficult for us, we can't solve it. We can't just get around it. Let's go back to God. Let us ask God questions and involve Him.
I wanted to ask. We are talking. It's as if this woman is she's only at home.
No,
she
no,
doesn't.
no.
No, just keep quiet.
Going out to work.
This lady is
You
only
want to
staying
jump?
at home. No, just a minute.
Just a minute.
Yeah,
as well.
just a minute.
Just-
This lady is at home. Like when the man comes, I need to welcome him. What if I'm working and I come home late when he's in the house? What do I do? Am I the one to welcome him, or I've already found him in the house? What do I do?
Unfortunately, you still have to remain a woman.
It's okay,
It's
but
godly
you're
to
talking
be a
it's as
woman.
if like
You
a man,
know,
when
God
a man
has just
comes
made you a
in,
woman.
I need to welcome him and let him feel at home. Even me, I'm from work.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That
Psalms 127 verse 1 says, except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman worketh but in vain. I don't know whether it's Tabi who said it, because you see, at some point, we are getting into an agreement that when he is different, there is a problem.
Right.
And I don't know why it is hard for us that we have identified that the man has the problem from inside. I mean, that is so easy to identify because the men are nodding. But it is not very easy for the ladies to accept the fact that they are also responsible to some way.
Because they want to usurp.
It's okay. It's okay.
They want to usurp the roles that are not theirs.
Now, there is this
that's the problem.
rift in this house. What are some of the damages when this man is different?
Broken families.
Outside.
The children are affected.
Yeah, children are affected.
The children are
definitely.
affected. They
Your
watch
relationship
and they
too.
see what is happening in the house. At one point, when you have separated your beds, it could be you go to sleep with in your children's bedroom, and their girl will be like, "Mommy, why are you coming to sleep with us today?" They see these things, they observe, it affects them even in the academic work. Psychologically, it affects them. So there is this says when two bulls are fighting, the grass suffers most. So we could be fighting as spouses in the house, but let us know that our children get affected so much.
The spiritual life will also go down. Really. How am I even going to pray while he doesn't even talk to me?
You're not talking to each other.
Yes.
So come home.
I with the priest.
Again,
I lose it.
my confidence if my man does not believe in me, if my man does not talk to me, it kind of affects my esteem. I will definitely have esteem issues.
It should not affect you, by the way.
No, but
it shouldn't for you.
It shouldn't. Yeah, but
let's not someone determine your self-esteem by
that is you who is aware, right?
Yeah.
What about that viewer who is, he's down, that probably the viewer could be, doing some business, but because of these ups and downs, the business will definitely go down because definitely she's not happy.
The
okay.
effects of such are interiors, Dave. One, like has been mentioned, the mental health is important because if you are not in the right state mentally, then a lot of things do not fall into place. Okay, it affects your work. Okay, it affects your spiritual relationship with God. It affects the upbringing of children. It badly damages this relationship called marriage. So it is extremely painful. But it is something that can be sorted out.
Now, what do we do?
What do we do? We need to talk to our women first. Yes, let's talk to them.
And you also change.
Let's talk to them.
Let's smiling with them.
Let me support what my husband is saying. I've worked in a counseling session. For those who know Mrs. Angenda, we've worked together at some point, and I will listen when she was handling some of these marital cases. We women, we must agree that, we must accept that we are in most cases, not in all, but in most cases, we are the problem in our houses. The way my elder said, Richard, can we take our place of women in our homes? Be a woman. Look at your home where you've come from. Look at the way your mother brought you up, dealt with your husband. I can give you a typical example of myself. My father was a drunkard. My mother was left home to basically do everything, from raising us up, going and doing business, looking for school fees, and still, none will touch my dad. My mom will come back and be like, has your father eaten? Have you given your father food?
Yes.
She will literally look after my father. She will go to those drinking places and find out if my father is there and is safe. And she will still come back and feed for the family. So as women, can we go back and be women in our houses? Tuwacheni na hii maneno of I can do without him. Why did you get married in the first place if you can do without him? Be a woman and take your place.
That's a mighty question.
Our marriages will be okay.
That's a mighty question. Yes. And it has only one answer. Let the woman be a woman.
Be a woman, yes.
And don't jump into the roles of men. You can advise. Once you have a good rapport in the house, you can talk. You can say, may I do this? May I do that? Please, will you do this? Will you do that? So that there is peace here. When you jump into roles that are not yours, you are throwing away the person who's supposed to take that role. And men are very good at jumping on that. People just want reasons to behave whichever way they want. Don't give them room to behave that way, because at the end of it, you will be the complainant.
My elder, even if they behave that way, something in their mind will be reminding them of this good woman, and they will come back to their senses.
And they will go looking for that good woman.
Even if they get married to second wives, I'm telling you, they will always come back to this first wife.
We are running out of time. And at this point, I also want to tell the men that let them be the men. Stand up and take charge.
Thank you.
Because we are talking about when the man is different.
Yes.
What is this? Hold on. Yeah. What is this that is making you different? Sit, talk. I have done it. I have sat down this woman and we have talked.
We are not kings
and we have sorted it out.
We talk.
We want to give our parting shot, words of encouragement to this family. I would start with Maureen.
My viewer, my fellow lady, my fellow women, I would like to urge you today to treat your husband as the king of the house. Give him the respect he deserves. And when there is something, he will be able to tell that, indeed, the way my wife treats me, I deserve to treat him better. Treat your husband better, and he will treat you better. But remember, Our children are there and they are watching our behaviors in this house. So let us do our part. But my dear lady, do your part because you have more to do than the man in this home.
It has turned out to be a lady affair and the man was different. We now know where the rain started beating us. Patrick, your parting shot.
Thank you. It's true, it takes two to tango. And I agree that while we could apportion blame to either of the parties, there is a lot that both parties must do so that they cultivate a healthy relationship. My take would be that we learn the secrets of good marriages, that we work on certainly 4 pillars. The Japanese call them the quadrangular pillars of the Ikigai life concept, a secret to long life. So please explore them, dear viewer, and you will live a good life. And God bless you.
Tabi.
Wow, I shouldn't be talking after Patrick. But dear viewer, you probably could be going through the same things that many families are going through. I just want to encourage you, as much as we were having this discussion, we were not competing. So marriage is not any competition. We have to support each other in one way or the other. If your spouse has changed because of one reason or the other, kindly get a support group. You know, talk to a pastor about it. And, you know, talk about your fears. And I believe when you start your communication, go out, spend out, go to the rivers or whatever. Spend time together and you're going to understand each other. And more prayers, more power.
Thank you, Richard.
Very true. I want to really support what my wife has mentioned. More prayer, more successes. If we have serious trouble with this kind of thing in our families, we need to cultivate time for discussion and prayer, and more of support from those people whose marriages may seem to be very nice and may seem to be okay. Get some people who can put you down. Bring a truce between you so that you can have a discussion. But more than that, go back to God and ask God these questions. He definitely will give you direction.
Thank you, Richard. Linda?
I'll just do a summary, my viewer. Remember, when there's a difference, there's somewhere where something went wrong.
Exactly.
Just go back to that point. Communication is key to help you.
Thank you.
There you have it, our viewer, and thank you so much for your beautiful comments. We are looking at them. Remember, the hashtag is Family Times. We want to thank the Okoyos for again coming and giving us insights and talking passionately about this topic. Thank you so much, Tabitha and Richard. Thank you to my dear wife, Linda. And we also acknowledge the good work that the technical team is doing so that this production can be where it is right now. This is what we've been talking about when he is different outside. And we have realized that both parties have a part to play. If I realize that I am the one that is wrong, if Linda puts me down, the main thing here is communication. Talk and talk and talk. And I would not forget to mention Psalms 127 verse 3. That is the basis of everything. See you again. The next show that is coming up, if you thought this was hot, watch out.